That small gap from a loose fuel cap lets gasoline vapors leak out. The car's evaporative emissions system senses the pressure loss and flags it as a fault, switching on the check engine light.
This small device threaded into the exhaust stream is the oxygen sensor. Its tip is exposed to hot exhaust gases, allowing it to detect how much oxygen remains after combustion. The sensor converts that information into a voltage signal between about 0.1 and 0.9 volts.
The engine coolant temperature sensor, or ECT, tells the control unit how hot the engine is. In this example, the sensor is failing. It reports a scorching 120 degrees Celsius, even though the coolant in the radiator is only 90.
Inside the intake duct, fresh air passes through the filter and across the mass airflow sensor before reaching the engine. When this tiny sensing wire becomes coated with dust or oil, its resistance changes. The sensor misreads the amount of air coming in, shown here as erratic flow and erratic voltage.
Fuel begins at the high, pressure pump. From here it moves through the rail to each injector. When an injector is healthy, it creates a fine, even cone of fuel mist. This atomization allows efficient, clean combustion inside the cylinder. A malfunctioning injector, however.
In a healthy cooling system, coolant leaves the engine, passes through the thermostat, and circulates to the radiator to shed heat. Here, the thermostat is stuck closed. Coolant can no longer reach the radiator and flow is blocked. Heat builds rapidly inside the engine. The temperature gauge begins to climb past the center.
When the EGR valve sticks open, too much exhaust gas is fed back into the cylinders. Combustion becomes unstable, causing rough idle, stalling, and a loss of power. If the valve sticks closed, no gases are recirculated. Combustion temperatures rise, creating harmful NOx emissions.
This catalytic converter is glowing red hot, a sign it's overheating. When exhaust temperatures climb above about 900 degrees Celsius, something upstream is usually wrong. Raw fuel entering the exhaust, restricted airflow, or an engine misfire can all flood the converter
Cylinder. In this cylinder, the air-fuel mixture isn't igniting when it should. That's a misfire. The worn electrode on the spark plug causes a weak spark, and the engine control unit picks up the drop in crankshaft speed.
Here we're looking at the top of a typical intake manifold. These tan hoses are vacuum lines that route manifold vacuum to different systems. This one goes to the brake booster, these to the PCV valves, and this small port should be sealed. The blue smoke shows a leak at the grommet.